Kia ora, New Zealand. Welcome to Sword Chain Live. My name's Matt Drake. This is episode 63. Good evening, Brady Cush.
Good evening, Matt. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, doing very well, thank you. I'm coming to you live from the gate of W.R. Jackson, home of the Champions Cup, which will be played this weekend, the first major of the year. And a familiar face, Justin Workman, is playing in that tournament. More on that a little bit later on. We've got a great show for you today. We've got hot scores coming up first from around the country, some new names this week as well. Then we cross live to our guest in Geelong, Patrick Robinson, a well-known figure in the Aussie disc golf scene. He pops in for a chat and Desert Island Disc Golf. Then Brady and I are going to be talking a little bit about the Champions Cup and some upcoming tournaments. Ratings came out on Tuesday, so comment below. What happened to your rating? Did it go up? Did it go down? We'll get to that a little bit later on. And then Brady and I have our picks for Brook Park Brave, which is this weekend in Te Kuiti. So, starting off down south in Invercargill, Rod McNaughton and Barry Van Beek share the lead this week in Invercargill with 9 under par. Well done to them. And at Chingford, it's Chris McLean who hits 8 under, knocking Cameron Mackey off the standings. He's hit it every week practically. Brockville is Errol Nye and Tom McKay at 5 under par, so well done to them. Queenstown Gardens is Wellingtonian's Keith Furlow, hits 8 under par, and Akiro Kuro joins him on that score. In Queenstown. Across to Tucker's and Fergus Tor hits 6 under par. Well done to Fergus. And Luke Godfrey locks out Wanaka with a 1 under par at Ely Point and an 11 under par at Lismore. Across the Garden City, and it's Sam Froese, put your surname on your U-disc, with 15 under par. Well done to him going round Jelly Park. And at Brooker Ave, it's Callie Thompson who hits 6 under, and Jeremy Brockenshire hits 8 under at Queen's Park Reserve. Brady, take us through the north.
Through the north, starting us off here in the capital, Phil McLeod doing work at Berhampore, 6 under par for the hot round this week. Great shooting, Phil. Out on the foreshore, Matt Drake, you yourself take it out with a -3 for the hot round on the foreshore. Well done, Matt. Congratulations. Up to Harcourt Park, Joel Simpson coming in at -6 this week. Good shooting, Joel. Speaking of Joel Simpson, taking it out on his home course as well, -6 up at Linkletter. So Joel with 2 hot rounds this week. He is playing well. Up to Taupo, we go Lakeside, Spa Park. We have Steve Lawson and Ross Elphick coming in at +3 this week. Maybe that weather is getting chilly up there on the lake. Over to Taranaki, let's go down to Maryland's and Mark Kennard coming in at -3 for the hot round. Out to Rotorua into the Redwoods, Forrest Dunn getting it done, -3 for the hot round this week. Up to Flaxmere, we got Anthony Rogers on the league layout coming with a scorching 13 under par. Well done, Anthony. Up to the extreme, Tauranga McLaren Falls, Quentin Suppers comes in at +1 this week. To the Big Smoke, Auckland, Henderson, Richard Watterson's coming in at -6 for the hot round. Out at Rosedale, Steve Jessup, Bruce Nang, and Aiden Paleson coming in at -3. And then, why not? Let's cross a ditch. Barwon Valley out in Geelong. Ryan Budgie coming in at -13 for the hot round this week in Australia. Those are our hot rounds this week. Temperatures are going down. Scores are going with them. Nice shooting this week, everyone.
Yeah, my rating's going with it. We'll talk a little bit about that later on. But yeah, in the talking of sanctioned disc golf, Ethan Stout hits the hot round of the day at the Sunday sessions in Invercargill with a 982 rated 8 under par. So well done to him. Right, so our guest this evening hails from the great city of Geelong and joins us this evening. He's a former New Zealand national disc golf champion and a multiple-time, is it 3 times? We'll ask him. 3-time Aussie national champion. Good evening to Patrick Robinson.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
There we go. Good evening.
Hey boys, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we can. How are you feeling?
Beautiful. Feeling all right. It's been a big day. I've been on the course actually all day, which is nice. So
Ooh.
yeah, it's been good. It's been some good weather as well. We've got the up and coming Vic Open, so I managed to sneak up to Ballarat with the young fella today and get around the course, get some practice in. So yeah, good day.
Yeah, I was gonna say temperatures in Wellington are starting to get in the single digits. Like what's Geelong weather like these days?
Yeah, not single digits. Maybe very early morning. I've got a feeling Ballarat's a little bit more elevated than Geelong, and it's about maybe an hour drive out of Geelong. So yeah, we usually can expect some cold weather there. But yeah, we'll see. It was an absolute perler, about 23 degrees today, so low winds. It was beautiful. Yeah.
Perfect day for golf. Now I know you. Our friendship goes back quite a long ways, quite a few years now. But a lot of our viewers probably don't know you. Like you did take down or take home the New Zealand crown. A few years ago in 2019 was it?
Yeah, I think 19. Yeah.
19.
Yeah.
So just for our viewers and listeners and that kind of stuff, just how long you been playing disc golf? Where'd you get your start? And do you have an abridged version of how you became, a
For sure.
multi-country champion?
Yeah, so this is my 10th year playing. I met Andrew Ferguson, Jarrett Sweeten, just in Geelong. In fact, I got introduced to disc golf from a mate from school, and I was just having a little bit of a throw on a oval in Highton, and I hadn't met anyone, didn't know anyone in disc golf apart from my friend, and Fergie was actually driving past and saw some random bloke throwing a golf disc, and I remember seeing this car like toot and then pull over, and then out jumps, Fergie, jumps the fence, comes over, he's giving me this big wave. I'm like, who the hell is this bloke? And he's like, hey, come down to the Geelong League Day. It's on this weekend. So yeah, and the rest of the day is history. I've been like that first sort of half of the decade, I was just slowly getting better and better. Never thought I just really enjoyed disc golf, but never sort of took it too seriously. And then skill started improving. I ended up winning advanced at the Aussie champs. I think in like 2013, 14, something like that. And then after that, got invited to the World Team Disc Golf Championships in Vancouver, which a few Kiwi guys came along to as well. And after that, I took a full month off to play disc golf in America and Vancouver for that. And I think playing at least 2 courses, 27, 36 holes a day for a month really honed the skills a bit. So after that, the game was feeling good, and I ended up winning quite a few tournaments. And I've won 3 Australian Disc Golf Championships. I won the New Zealand Disc Golf Championships in an intense battle with Simon Feasey. I placed, probably the biggest achievement is that I placed, I think it was 8th at the Aussie Open in 2017 and earned an invitation to the USDGC. So again, I took another month off and went and competed at the USDGC, which was pretty damn epic. So been to New Zealand a couple of times, been to the US a couple of times. Hopefully, I'd love to put Europe on that list as well. But I've played a bit and traveled a bit too, which has been awesome.
I mean, we're starting to see borders kind of reopen now, and international travel is kind of sort of a thing. I saw an article of people landing from Australia recently. Have you got any courses or tournaments that are on your bucket list for the next year or two? Have you got any that you've got your eye
on? I would love to get to the Japan Open. And also maybe like tourney or something like that. And really anything like European Open, something over. Like I've been sponsored by Latitude 64 for I think about 5 years now. So I would love to get over to Sweden and Skellefteå and check that whole thing out, and definitely play some disc while I'm there. But as far as like a specific tournament, though, yeah, Japan Open, maybe the Tourney Open. As far as the States go, really, it would just be Worlds that I'd like to have a crack at. But yeah, that's probably how the bucket list goes. I mean, I've done the US twice now, so I'd probably like to do Europe. Never been there, so yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, and always it's good to cross the pond over to New Zealand and play some more tournaments over there. Yeah, I'd love to play Paradise again, actually. Get some revenge there too.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'd love to have you and Fergie over to play Paradise in the same year. I'm pretty sure like we've had you guys alternating for 2 or 3 years there.
Yeah, it was good. When I played, I can't even. Maybe it was 2018, 2019. Anyway, whenever I nicked over, it was good having Chris Finn and Geordie were there, which was really cool. But yeah, I've definitely tried to get in the word of quite a few Aussies. Like, there's some pretty special disc golf locations in New Zealand, and I wouldn't be surprised if you guys had a few Aussies traveling over. Like, we're getting some big numbers at tournaments now, and I think there'll be quite a few more people traveling and checking out discs. So yeah, we're better to go than New Zealand as well to check it out. So yeah,
I mean, we've seen quite a large growth in the game, and the US has seen similar. We've kind of followed. What's it been like in Australia? Have you seen the same kind of growth in like local leagues and tournaments?
Yeah, it's been unprecedented. It's ridiculous. I mean, so many sports got hurt with COVID, but I think, as we know, disc golf just blossomed. We definitely got quite a lot of ultimate players coming over, and just they couldn't obviously play ultimate for a couple of years, so I thought they'd try disc, and yeah, it's been really, really wonderful. We've got some amazing people that have come over from that sport. They've realized that they may have had a bit of the thought that disc golf was a little bit of a joke, essentially, like that it was that they thought it would be too sort of easy for them, and then they've come over, and the transition has been maybe difficult at first, but then they've realized that there's a whole new ball game opening up these frisbee skills, and the massive world of how many discs that we have. So yeah, I think the boom has been really, really big, and our tournaments have shown that. So I TD'd the Australian Disc Golf Championships just recently, which in February. It was supposed to be the 2020 Aussie Champs, but yeah, we kept getting pushed back time and time again. But we managed to get the tournament run. It was huge. We had the largest field that Australia's ever seen, with 186 competitors.
Whoa.
And unfortunately the Perth WA contingent weren't able to come, so they had their COVID state restriction didn't allow them to come, so we had about 24 that we missed there as well. So we had over 200 on the list for quite a while there. So yeah, that was really, really exciting, huge effort. But yeah, the Vic Open that I've been training for next following weekend is also maxed out. It was the second biggest event in Australian history at 166. So yeah, we just it's been awesome seeing the rise. But as a TD, I think a lot of people have sort of had to stop and really think, oh crap, we need more help, and we need to really think about logistics here. But no, it's awesome to see the sport grow. Yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, having run, like our event, we didn't max out players wise, so we had to cap it with our like traffic light alert system at like 100 players. But if you could go back to like say December or January last year and give yourself advice on, like what nationals was, like what would you go back and say to, like Patty 3 months ago?
Oh, get some sleep, maybe. Yeah, it was not. I mean, like, there's been big events. Don't get me wrong, and there's been incredible TDs in the history of Australian disc golf. But I've been a part of massive events, bigger events than that. But being a TD on that side of it was just it didn't. I had in my mind that I could, so I brought Andrew Ferguson in as as co-TD so that I could try and play and compete, and that just, like, I've TD'd and played before, but you just can't switch off. And we had so where the champs was held was at the Inverleigh Gold disc golf course, and that which is on a golf course. So the Inverleigh Golf Club have worked with us for the last 5 or 6 years to really push disc golf and install a course there. And we had at least 15 golf club members working with us, and we were still a bit overrun. It was just they're just, I think, definitely, if there's any advice I could give to future TDs looking at these big events, and like, just make sure you've got a really good team behind you, and that that all your roles are sort of defined. And because I put in at least 8 days of like 14-hour days pre-tournament, just getting things set up and organized, and then the actual tournament hit, and it was just a blur. So it was awesome. But I think 3 months before the tournament, maybe just take some time and enjoy the moment, and get some sleep, go to bed early. But no, it was really good. Really good. I'm glad. Like, I'm happy that we got really good feedback. So I'm happy that I'm I've been a player for 10 years and I've TD'd little things, but I've always wanted to TD the champs and sort of put my mark on it. And I think I accomplished that. So it was good.
Well, that's right. It's gonna be the practice that you get in TDing all those smaller events that then you kind of increase the level of prep by an order of magnitude when it comes to doing something like nationals, as you both have done. And I can imagine that many a sleepless night is had in the lineup. I can't imagine doing it. The Wellington Summer League is about as close as I got to that kind of thing. But hey ho. Good stuff. So you've been sponsored by Latitude now for 5 years. I personally, that's great, because I throw just Latitude. I think their
good man
practice is fantastic. And I haven't even strayed to the other trilogy molds. I want to know, and I don't want to spoil the Desert Island disc golf that might come. Have you got any particular favorite molds that you like from them?
Oh, I've got plenty. I think my standouts are evolving. I've been really impressed with Latitude, that they've brought out these new discs in the Royal Grand line, plastics or finishes, I suppose you could say. And I don't know, it's been a long time since sometimes new discs come out and you sort of think, oh well, what new could they possibly create? How many discs are actually on the market? And but the Grace, the new Rive, the new Trusts that have come with those. I've just been blown away by. I find that they're really. I think they know where things are missing in the market. Maybe it's not so much a disc, but maybe when you get those discs out of the box and put them in your hand, you're just like, wow, this is just next level. Like the finish on them is ridiculous, and they just feel great. You're like, I have to throw this thing. So yeah, I've been really impressed with the Grace and the Trust. So yeah, and that's not spoiling any of my my picks for the 3 discs either. So yeah, definitely some favorite molds there. Yeah.
I was gonna say, has anything come in? You posted recently on your social media accounts about you got a little creative over lockdown, and enjoyed the various angles you could have around your house. Have any of these discs come into those kind of like trick shots? Do you have any more kind of fun antics in your future?
Oh yeah, it's funny. I think I really need to do more trick shot videos. I mean, that was just a memory that popped up, and I was like, oh yeah, that was pretty cool. I'll share that. And then I had some of the nurses at work come up to me like, oh hey, my son saw your video and thought that was awesome. So I was like, oh okay, cool. Yeah, never mind how many tries it actually took to get it, but no, definitely like, so I was using for most of those things I was using daggers, but yeah, I definitely like a fuse, a latitude fuse for a couple of those little trick shot videos as well. I do have a couple more in the works, so yeah, you might see some stuff soon. Yeah.
And you mentioned, that your nurse friends have children. You are, a father yourself. Has the little one picked up discs yet? How's that going when it comes to the next generation of Robinson?
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. Like he's only started crawling a couple of months ago, but he sort of knows that if my disc golf bag's at the front door, there's very pretty colored things in there, so he sort of beelines towards them and pulls out some putters. I've got a couple of baskets in the side yard now, and this is just recently. Like I sort of make a putt, and then he'll try and sort of climb up and reach the disc, and he'll want to be holding onto a frisbee. And actually, even today as well, when we're walking around the course, he's got a pink burst hand-eye harp that he loves. He holds onto that when we go around the course. And just today, I'd say to him, I'm like, okay, well, can you see the basket? Where's the basket? Can you see it? And he'll just sort of look around, and then he'll point to the basket, and then we'll go up and we'll touch the basket and have a bit of a big smiles, and then we'll keep going. So yeah, hopefully he'll. I mean, we don't want to push anything onto our kids, but yeah, I think there's a lot of smiles around the disc golf course at the moment. So yeah, it's really fun and exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate exactly to that. I have a 2-year-old daughter who behaves very similarly currently. I think it's great to get kids out onto the disc golf course, and something that we've seen actually, particularly in our social events, is the number of kids who are coming along. We've at Hosker, which is our monthly event in Wellington, we've introduced a junior division because we need a junior division, right? It never used to be a thing, but now we have one, and it's a competitive one.
That's awesome.
Do you find that in your local area you've got schools and groups of like community groups of kids, or even just mates coming around and playing?
Yeah, look, there's at the Chance we had a pretty good one of the biggest sort of junior showings that I've seen at tournaments for a while, which was really cool. There was 5 in the under 15 boys that were all very, very competitive. There's some really cool young talent coming out there. And then we had some junior girls, we had some junior under 12 boys as well. So yeah, I think in total we had about nine all up, 9 or 10 for the championships. As far as like at a local level, I've seen schools run through Barn Valley Disc Golf Course, which is the main one in Geelong, quite regularly. I know that Fergie, who works for RAD, which is a disc golf course installation company, and they also do, he works with the Flying Disc Draw. I know that he's sold quite a few like packs and stuff to schools lately, like of baskets and discs. And so, yeah, it's really, it's changed quite a lot, I think. And it's definitely something that the local schools in the area know that they can take, their classes down to their park and play frisbee. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But I think we've still got a little ways to go to maybe engage those groups in like league days and that sort of thing. But hey, if we can introduce it, plant the seed while they're young, and go from there, that'd be really cool. Yeah. So.
Well, yeah, and that's a good question too. So, like Matt and I are, like engaged in growing the sport here in Wellington and with the Greater Wellington Disc Golf Club. What are some of the things that like you and the Geelong Club are doing to encourage kids to come out and like league days and that kind of stuff? How do you guys like help grow the local sport?
Yeah, so I mean, we now that we've got Inverleigh in the ground as well, we've got 2 league days a month, so they're a fortnight apart. So there's the Inverleigh League Day, there's the Geelong League Day. We've brought in a couple of different sort of things to hopefully entice a few people to say like come down to your first league day and it's free. We do some clinics. And just really try and take, some of the feedback we had at the start was that, right, coming down to a league day is, a bit daunting. So we try and try and make them a bit more of a social outing, make it a bit more fun and a bit sort of not so much about playing well and competing, but just getting into the sport. So, yeah, as well as that, we've done plenty of school clinics, and yeah, the club gets approached, quite often, maybe every couple of months or something, and we'll go out to, we'll just put it out to the club and say, hey, who's free? Let's go, run a clinic in the schools and stuff, and yeah, that's usually very well received. So yeah, just that type of stuff.
So turning your attention to the Vic Open in just over a week's time. Looks to be a pretty competitive field. From the little I know of Australian disc golf, I recognise some of the names on the in the Open division, and it looks to be pretty competitive. What are your targets? What are your goals for that tournament?
Yeah, it's really exciting. There's quite a few boys that are coming in. There's quite a few locals as well. So look, me personally, I've been dealing with a couple of injuries, and last year I had a couple of health issues and stuff. So it's been I managed to win the Vic Open last year through a bit of illness, so that was pretty cool. So reigning champ, but it's been a slow sort of comeback for me. I've tweaked elbow, so I don't have a forehand that can get me further than sort of 50 meters at the moment. So yeah, if I can go into it and get through three days and still sort of be competitive, like if I can sort of finish in that sort of top 5, top 4, that'd be incredible. But yeah, we'll just see how we go. I like to go into tournaments with no expectations. So yeah, if I'm hitting lines and having fun, then yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think there should be some pretty good scores coming in. It's a very attackable course, So yeah.
Excellent. I mean, it's a big weekend for disc golf in this part of the world with the Vic Open on the same weekend as the Topol Classic, which has also got close to 160 players as well. So yeah, looking forward to following both of those. So we're going to move on to Desert Island Disc Golf. So the premise here, if you've not seen this segment of the show before, is that Paddy is stranded on a desert island, and this desert island has a disc golf course. He's been stranded with 3 of his favorite discs and 3 of his favorite card mates. His card mates can be living or dead. They can be real or fantasy. They can be seasoned pros or people he knows. So, Paddy, what are you throwing first up?
So I've actually got the discs.
Excellent. Yeah.
Is that the other? Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Cool.
If you talk a little bit about each one, and why it's special to you, and also like what it might do for someone who hasn't thrown that disc before, perhaps what it might do for them, and why they should get one.
Yeah, for sure. Well, first one, putter, Dagger. They're all latitude discs, obviously. But yeah, the Dagger's been my go-to putter for 6 years. This one's like a moonshine sort of run. I know when I first put a Dagger in my hands, I thought, geez, that's an extremely
it's huge,
thick, thick disc. It's massive. It feels really bizarre, but
that's what she said.
Yeah, she never said that to me. But yeah, look, they're just really, really, really solid. They've got a very, I find putting with them, like I've had amazing success. So yeah, it took a little bit sort of getting used to the sort of feel in my hand, but I like that it sits in my palm. I like that, they've got a pretty sort of straight neutral flight at the start, but they do have a bit of fade at the end. I can throw them off the tee as well, and they're very, very straight sort of flying discs. So they're go-to putter. So that's first one. Second one, this is a very pretty disc, but this is, I think it's one of like the most underrated discs sort of getting around. I mean,
I completely agree.
If you like latitude or trilogy discs, then you'll know of the Fuse. But if you don't, this is an absolute money disc. It is a mid-range disc. It is very it's an understable mid-range disc, but it has quite a lot of glide. I try to recommend ultimate players when they first come over into disc golf to get one, because I feel it has a reasonably similar flight to an Ultra Star, or it's easy to explain to them. But look, I'm using this for real glidey turnover shots, anywhere from sort of 50 meters up to 80, 90 meters. I carry 2 of these in my bag. One of them is a bit more flippy than this one. This is a bit more stable. But yeah, I can use them for, those big turnover shots, straight shots, slow sort of hyzer flips. And then they're a great touch sort of forehand disc as well, or little trick sort of backhand. So I've definitely had some nice little throw-ins from that sort of 20 to sort of 30 meter range with these. They're a fantastic disc.
Yeah,
so,
I couldn't agree more. If you go around the garden somewhere like that, you only need a Fuse. It's fantastic.
Yeah. And finally, one of the best drivers in the business, the Ballista Pro. So this is it's a bit dirty. I've had this in the bag for quite a while. This used to be my quite overstable B Pro, but it's beat in a little bit now, so I get quite I get a little bit of turn out of it at the start. But yeah, still get a reliable, trusty fade. It's 14 speed, 4 glide, and 0.3. So yeah, definitely Ballista Pro. If you want to, if you just want to add like 20 meters onto your max distance, just like that, get a Ballista Pro. You know, it's funny that it actually says a glide 4. I think it glides better than that, but that's one thing I found with Trilogy discs is that you know, you can get easy distance with them. So yeah, great for backhands, great for forehands. I've aced with this a couple of times. It's a go-to driver. I carry about 4 of them in my bag. So yeah, they're my 3.
Fantastic. And who's with you? Who is on your card?
Well, I just went with people I know. So maybe I could have spiced things up with some people who have passed away, but I just went with some of the 3 people that I really enjoy playing disc golf with. So that's they're all local boys: Jarrah Sweeten, Andrew Ferguson, and Dylan Feldman. So yeah, I thought if we're all playing disc golf, then you know those guys, we've got a bag of tricks. So I think we can pull something special out of our butts. So.
and you'll be competing against each other in a week or two's time anyway.
Yes, well, Dylan will be, who is the reigning Aussie champ. So yes, yeah,
that could get spicy. Excellent.
It could.
Excellent. Right. So thank you very much for that. We're going to move on to our quick fire round. So I've got the family friendly front 9, same 9 questions to every guest every week. And then Brady's got the safari back 9, takes the format of a this or that and is different for every guest every week. Okay, here we go. So question number 1, what's your name?
My name, Patrick. Patty Robinson.
This is the family friendly. What's your PDJ number?
62059.
Where were you born?
Geelong.
Where do you live now?
Geelong.
How many years have you been playing?
10 years.
And what's your favorite disc?
Oh, at the moment, probably the Trust.
Yes. And your favorite course?
Oh, Milo McIver.
Very good. And your favorite MPO player?
Ooh. Now that he's back with DD, probably Rick. Yeah, but that's very hard to pick one.
And your favorite FPO player?
Kristen Tatar. She's awesome.
Very good. Very good. Brady, take us through the back 9.
Here we go. So this is just quick fire, this or that. So magpie or seagull?
Seagull.
Korean barbecue or American barbecue?
Korean.
Gold plastic or orbit plastic?
Oh, gold all the way. Gold all the way.
Shaved head or clean shaven?
Oh, on me? I'd probably go shaved head before going clean shaven. Baby face.
Nicola Castro or Matty Oram?
Matt Oram.
Aussie champ or New Zealand champ?
Oh. I've won more, so Aussie. Go on.
A max distance Annie or a touch forehand?
Max distance Annie. Definitely.
Would you rather throw 1,000 rated round or win the competition?
I'd rather win. Get the W. Yeah.
And last.
Yeah. Sorry, you go.
And lastly, hole 9, hole 18. Do you run it or do you lay up?
Depends where I'm at in the tournament.
No expectations, Patty.
Yeah. Well, by hole 18, there's some expectation. That's usually the path is lined for me. if I got a lead, I'll play it smart. Yeah. But
Lays
if
it up.
Simon Feasy's on your heels, yeah, I'll take the putt.
Yeah, you run it and win it.
Yeah.
And that is it. That is the Sweet Chain Safari. Thank you so much, Patty.
No worries, boys.
Thank you very much, Paddy, for
fun.
joining us today. It's been great to chat and learn a little bit more about Australian disc golf and yourself. Very best of luck at the Vic Open in just over a week's time. We'll be tracking the results and looking to see how everyone gets on very closely. So very best of luck.
No, I appreciate it, boys. This has been a lot of fun. And yeah, always good, Brady. And been good to meet you too, Matt. Yeah, cheers.
Excellent. See you around.
Cheers,
Cheers.
Patty.
There we go. Excellent. Oh, look, it's great to meet people who you've never met before, right? That was the first time I'd met Paddy, and I look forward to one day being able to play in the same tournament, possibly in Australia even, because the borders started to open, right?
That's it. Well, we were supposed to trade this year. So, he was hosting nationals and I was going to go play in his event. And then I was hosting nationals and he was going to come play in my event. Unfortunately, borders and COVID and all of that fun stuff said nope.
Well, you have to do it again next year, eh?
Yeah. But yeah, because that's, oh man, I should have asked him. Aussie Disc Golf Champs will be in November because this is one of the first years for Australia that they're having like 2 championships in the same year because the Geelong one kept getting bumped back. So yeah, November should be another champ. So his mate Dylan, who he's going to be playing with at the Vic Open, is reigning champ. So yeah, he'll be competing out there as well. But yeah, Aussie's great community.
November's near enough away to kind of start looking at organizing stuff. Do you know where it is?
No, I don't. That's what I was trying to find out. If anyone watching knows, leave a comment below of where the Aussie Disc Golf Champs are.
Or Paddy, if you're still watching and you can put it into the green room chat, then that would be very useful as well. Yep. Okay, right. There's the first big major of the year in the Disc Golf Pro Tour PDJ scene is this weekend. It's the Champions Cup from WR Jackson, as you can see from behind me. It's in Adelaide. Is the Aussie Open.
Nice.
Excellent. It's in WR Jackson this weekend, and it's noteworthy particularly because last year's New Zealand national champion Justin Workman, who came to New Zealand and basically beat everyone in every event he played, except I think he lost to Jacko once, but beat everyone else, is qualified for the event due to winning the New Zealand national championships. So, Jay, I hope you're watching because next year you could be there. If you're keen to follow Justin's card, then he tees off at 12 minutes past 5 tomorrow morning, New Zealand time. And he's on the same card as Matt Hammerstone, who finished 25th at Worlds, Kevin Kiefer, and Nico LaCastro. So, I mean, their round probably won't be finished until about midday New Zealand time. You can catch up there, and you'll be able to see all the scores coming on the Disc Golf Network if you are a subscriber to that. Brady, you got any tips on who you think is going to take out the first major of the year? Who's impressed you so far?
Both Ricky and Paul are looking really good. I'm interested to see how they're going to battle in the woods. So Milo McIver, Ricky tends to play a little better in the woods. He's also came off like a pretty good stint there in Texas. It'll be interesting to see how Paul does. He's taken some time off, so he'll be nice and relaxed. And I know that he was focusing on the first major. The nice bit is apparently Paige Pierce and Paul have a bonus written into their contracts for who hits the 20th major. So it would beat Ken Climo's record of 19. So one, I'm interested to know how big is that bonus? And two, I'm really fascinated actually to see who will win it. Because it was really funny in an interview recently, Paige said, if you are beating Paige and Katrina Allen, on the same day, on the same course, you are most likely winning the tournament. So I'm really excited to see that battle as well. They both play extremely well at majors. They both play extremely well in the woods. Kat probably is a little bit more consistent on the fairway, but with Paige like being on fire on the green, it'll be a really fun battle to watch. So yeah, to be honest, I'm just looking forward to all of it. I love the course. There's been some great plays. Some sleepers have come through in these wooded courses in the past. So it should lead to like great battles down the stretch. Do you have anyone that you favor, Matt?
Oh yeah, so look, I'll be I've been really I reckon it's going to be Beth's going to win it in my view. He's just looked so strong so far this year, and I think that's it's something that's going to take some surpassing, to be honest. And it's a major, and he always plays well in majors. Other than that, I'll be looking out for my favourite kind of players who played Matteo, Emerson Keefe, amongst others. Emerson Keefe's got a funny habit of turning up at majors, so yeah, we'll see what he can do. So yeah, 5:15 New Zealand time. If you want to catch Justin's round, you'll be able to see the live scores on UDisc Live and following, and we'll certainly be supporting from here. And obviously, because it's Good Friday tomorrow, you may have the day off. You can watch all of the disc golf live. Get up in the morning, make yourself a cup of tea, and watch some disc golf in the morning. Lovely stuff. Right, it's ratings day last Tuesday. How did you all go? Well, only one person has shared their ratings update, and it was Morgan. Well done on your 10-point bump. Very, very good. I had a 3-point drop.
Yeah, I dropped 4.
And I know why that was. It was the there was a couple of rubbish rounds at league where I shot like mid 800s, and then because my performance at Middle Earth Open and Nationals this year was a little bit lower than Middle Earth last year, which came off. What I'm really looking forward to is getting rid of the Peter Crowther Memorial, where I shot absolute turd. So I'm looking forward to getting rid of that. So my next tournament that will come off. So Sam got 28 points. Wow. Sam Lycan took out the junior division, you'll recall. And jumped 28 points in the process. So well done to him. Also saw that Jay Watkinson got a quite nice bump up to 980, I think, as well. So well done to Jay. Right, moving on. There is a tournament this weekend. It's in Te Kuiti, and it's the Brook Park Brave. Brady, what you've played this tournament before?
Yeah, I played it last year.
It's quite a small field. Okay. There's only 38 players in total. But that doesn't mean it's going to be any less competitive. And I'll tell you why. There's 9 players in the open division. And of those 9 players, 5 of them are in the top 10 players in the country. Right? So you've got Mikey Yu, Andy Davey, Conor Mckinstry, Levi Stout, and Simon Feasy, who will all be battling it out in the open division. The advanced division, as we spoke to Henry Pearson last week, will have a lot of there's a lot of Aucklanders playing in there, and a lot of Henry's crew who will be playing in that, which will be naturally competitive. And the MA40 division, which I've got my eyes on for next year, is always competitive. So although it's a slightly smaller field, don't let that Anthony, what about you? Top 20, Anthony. Absolutely. Let's see what we can do. Brilliant. Love to see you in the on the podium there. So Brady, who are your picks for this weekend at Brook Park Brave? Give us your winning lady and your top 5 in the men's division, please.
Winning lady has to go with, I mean, I've been backing her all year. I'll keep backing her now. Nicholas Stout, Mama Stout coming through. I think she's going to take it out. Just slow and steady is going to win this race. It's probably going to be a pretty rugged course for her. Not a lot of birdies on her cards, but I still think she's going to walk away with a win. How about you, Matt? Who do you got in the women?
In the women's, I've got the same. Yeah. I think it will be pretty tight though, because I think Nicola, Paula, and Amy have all got the capability of turning up on the day and putting a good couple of rounds together. So yeah, again, competitive division. I think that one's certainly one to keep half an eye on.
And go right into the men. Who are your top 5?
Right. My top 5 are 5th place, Andy Davey. I know that he had one really good round at nationals, and I know has likes this area of the country and is will do well. Tends to do well in North Highland tournaments. Conor Mckinstry in 4th. Big arm for a big course, and coming off a good performance at nationals as well. Mikey Hughes making the trip up, and I've got him in 3rd place. I think there's gonna. I don't know this course, but from what you've told me, Brady, there's some shot shaping required, and so I think Mikey Hughes' forehand could come useful. But as ever with any course that looks like this, it could well come down to the putting green, and there's very few that are better than Levi on the putting green. So I'm going to say 2nd for Levi. However, I'm going to go Simon Feasy to take out the win, given that he has played this so many times and knows it very well. TD for the weekend. It's just all points to Simon. So that's my top 5. Brady, you got anything similar or different?
Let's go a little different, shall we? Okay. 5th place. Don't get me wrong. Love Andy. Love that he's repping Wellington. He's going to be 6th place. I think the hot hand is going to take it for 5th place. I'm going to go to Anthony Rogers. He plays well on these bigger courses. So yeah, he should be able to hyzer flip straight down the middle for a lot of these. So I'll put him in 5th. 4th place, let's go to the champ, Conor Mckinstry. I think it's a big course that will cater to him. It'll be interesting to see him shape some lines. He plays a little bit better in the Open from what I've seen compared to the Woods. So it might be a bit tight for him. So it'll be interesting to see. It's also supposedly it's in better nick this year. They've been out and mowing the grass. So, we'll see how that actually plays out. 3rd place, I'm going to go with Simon. He's starting to slip. Okay. I think he's going to be there. To be honest, I think 2nd, 3rd, and 1st are going to be, there's going to be a gap. They're going to be out the front.
Yeah.
Simon's going to be 3rd. Levi is going to be 2nd. I'll meet you there. I think he still needs a bit more experience under his belt. It'll be good to have him pushed. But yeah, actually for the win this week, I think he's feeling comfortable. He'll be a bit more relaxed on the weekend. Weather, I think, is looking better as well. So I'm going to give Mikey Yu the win this weekend in Brook Park.
Excellent. It's going to be incredibly competitive. We said it's 5 of the top 10. We'll just quickly find put the top the power rankings up on.
Yeah, do you have the power rankings up? Who are they going to predict?
First up, we'll go to power rankings first. So the power rankings have got Levi ahead of in 2nd place, ahead of Simon. That would have been his strong nationals performance, and indeed his strong performance recently. The gap to Jacko has closed between himself.
Hemi jumps up into 3rd.
Hemi's strong performance at where was it? With the most recent tournament down south, that was
Classic, wasn't it?
A Classic. Hemi taking out the
Paradise.
Classic.
It was Paradise.
That's the one. Hemi taking out Paradise was the reason for that jump. So and he beat a very strong field to jump up there. And then you got Mike Hugh in 6th place, Conor Mckinstry in 8th. He'll be hoping to climb up. I know that he doesn't like being outside of the top 5, as he made it very clear to me at nationals when I spoke to him. Then we got Wellington local Andy Davey in 9th place, and Jasper Vandermeer in 10th. It's a pretty compact top 10, if you ask me, and on any day, any of those guys in the top 10 is capable of taking out pretty much any type of tournament in the country. We do have 3 back-to-back, so these power rankings are going to change a lot over the next 3 weeks, and so we look forward to seeing how they get on. Okay. Next up is, we'll just quickly go to the upcoming events. So we've got the Brook Park Brave this weekend in Tequiti, then Topor Classic, which is the weekend after. I don't know if you've seen, if you go onto the Topor Classic Facebook page, there's some details of how you can watch some of the final holes of the MPO field there, as well as some interviews with some of the winners. Then the Montana Flat is the same weekend, the final of the Generation Disc Golf Tour. The King Country Classic comes next, the weekend after. Weekend after that, Lords and Ladies of Lismore. So 4 weekends on the trot. We've got tournaments. Then a little bit of a break before Sub-Zero, which is another Generation Disc Golf event. Then the Timaru Tukwati, I pronounced that all wrong, I'm sure, at the end of June. And then the women's global events in Wellington, Auckland, and I hear there's one in Christchurch as well. Some big things planned for that, actually, so more on that later on. And the Bros for Change Charity Classic in Christchurch has been penciled in for the 11th of November.
Yeah, I was going to say Fault Line Fury will be coming up in November. We talked about Aussie Champs is going to be in Adelaide this year. That's also in November.
Now we might have to we might have to check that on the Aussie Champs because we did have a note from Paddy on his way out saying it will be held by the Sunny Coast Disc Golf crew will be hosting it at a private course called Tunnel Ridge in Landsborough in Queensland. So not Adelaide. They will have accommodation on site. Apparently, beautiful location, but he's not played there yet. So we look forward to that. And we got Wahitapu on the 28th of October as well. We'll put that in for next time. Thank you very much, Bray.
Oh, yeah. So any TDs out there or, like local clubs around the country, if you'd like to get featured here on Sweet Chain Live, please reach out or just leave a comment. We'll throw you up and add you to this ever-growing calendar of disc golf events. We don't want you to miss anything. So that's why we put this up week in and week out.
Yeah. And if you're thinking about running a disc golf event, but you perhaps don't know how to go about it, or you're a bit unsure, or you've never really done one before, then get in touch, because between Brady and I, we've got experience running local leagues and larger events, and so get in touch if you want some advice. Last week we talked about one of the things that we wanted to do on a future show, and we've managed to secure a guest who's going to be doing the PDGA officials exam live on the show in a few weeks' time. So we're going to get probably in mid-May, I would have thought, we'll do an episode where we do the PDGA officials exam live on the show. And if you don't have your officials qualification yet, then you can follow along. And we'll be going through the answers as we go, but I mean, you won't get the same questions necessarily. So, yes, tune into that. Next week, we'll hope to have the winner of the Brook Park Brave live on the show. But wherever you're playing disc golf this weekend, play well, get some birdies, take it easy, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.